Our project is over Fort Sumter and many boats in the Civil War. Both are really important, with the Battle of Fort Sumter being the first battle fought and the boats being extremely important.
Fort Sumter is located in Charleston County, South Carolina. It is a famous national monument. Fort Sumter was built in 1811 by the United States for the war. Fort Sumter was also placed for the famous battle, the Battle of Fort Sumter. Fort Sumter was captured and bombarded during the American Civil War by the Confederate Army. At night, the fire from the fort stopped, but the Confederates still lobbed the occasional shell into Sumter. The battle was also the first battle of the Civil War, and the return gunfire was subsequent surrender by the United States Army that started the American Civil War. The Battle of Fort Sumter happened on Thursday, April 11th, 1860. Civil War boats were a very important part of the war. There were many in the war, and a lot were destroyed. The USS Nashville was one of the most important ships that were used in the Civil War. The USS Nashville was a hospital boat. During the time of the Civil War, hospital boats were very important to carry sick or wounded passengers to safety. Most boats in the Civil War were hospital boats or boats that transported supplies. Hospital boats are still around today helping people. It is and was a war crime to attack a hospital boat during the war. Hospital boats may have even been around in ancient times. They have helped us in every war.
I've done two projects. The first one is a model of Fort Sumter, which is one of the buildings that survived the Civil War. We made the model out of robotics tools from the robotics class. My second project is a USS Nashville hospital ship. During the time of the Civil War, which, as you see, I made this out of Legos. The USS Nashville was used to help soldiers that were injured. The reason I used robotics and Legos is because I was familiar with these things and it was enjoyable. Now, the reason I picked Fort Sumter is because it was the first battle of the Revolutionary War.
Emil helped heavily with research and the video. Sarah also helped with research and made the video. Bailey helped with modeling.
There are things that people do not typically think about when they hear Civil War, but they are both very important. Without them, who knows where the war could have went. Even if they may not be the best parts of the war, they still had a huge impact on it. We rely on everything, every battle, every boat, every man to make sure the Civil War ended how it did. If we didn't have the Battle of Fort Sumter, the war could have started a lot worse than it did. Without the boats, we may not have gotten the opportunities to have what we need. If we took the time to think about the small battles that we forget about, we would realize that every battle has a huge impact on how the Civil War ended. Without the boats, we would have lost so many more people. We didn't because of the dedicated people. Overall, we did enjoy this project. We enjoyed that it was student-led and we got to learn about things we would not typically know in a way we would not typically learn them. We enjoyed the fact that we got to all take our own lead. Me and Emma learned a lot about the Battle of Gettysburg, Fort Sumter, the War of Fort Sumter, and all the boats in the Civil War. In the beginning, it was very stressful because we had too many separate projects going on. We originally had the Battle of Gettysburg on Unity, a different fort on Minecraft, but over time we decided that a model of Fort Sumter would be better, and we decided to add Civil War boats and get rid of Unity because of technical difficulties. We all learned a lot about the Civil War and all of the small battles that go into it. When most people think of the Civil War, they just think of the big battles, but all of the small battles contribute just as much as the big ones. All of our models show parts of the Civil War nobody thinks about. They always think about the fighting, not about the transportation or the ways people get home. They always think about the battlegrounds. They never think about the forts that were bombarded. All of these things are very important about the Civil War. We enjoyed this project because we got to understand more about the Civil War and more about everything in it. We got to learn that there were many different forts that were also destroyed besides Fort Sumter, and they were all in completely different places. The American Civil War was started in the 1800s, but it is still forever known, even to this day.